Elder Erastus Snow was the next speaker. He had been preaching 38 years and could not speak so loud now as formerly. He had seen the time when all the Latter-day Saints could have been comfortably seated in one of our ordinary primary schoolhouses. He had witnessed the rise and progress of the Church in its various stages from that time to the present. During that time, some had lifted their puny arms and voices against the work in order to cover up their own cupidity and folly. All such had but shown their own weakness and mendacity, while those who had maintained their integrity had grown with the work of the latter days. All the Latter-day Saints had to fear was that they might forget their testimonies they had received, the glitterings of wealth and the allurements of crime. Too much care could not possibly be bestowed on the moral and intellectual education of children. Our boys who had been accustomed to the hardships of frontier life were being brought into contact with influences that were strange to them. They might be somewhat uncouth in manners, yet they would generally fight for their religion, but they did not generally pay sufficient attention to living it, and were probably too apt to strike hands with the wicked, especially in the vicinity of mining camps. We were waging a war against wickedness of every kind. We were not blindly led in the work that we had undertaken, but our leaders saw, and so did they who followed them. The opposition manifested towards us today was because of our consolidation and unity, for we were the best ordered community so far as the old citizens were concerned in the land. He said this knowingly, having traversed this continent from one end to the other, and many of the countries of Europe. In this city, it was true, under the auspices of a federal and judicial ring, crime was beginning to manifest itself. There was a time in the city when locks and keys were unneeded, but that time was past. It was probable that the people would be tried by circumstances, and many would be found wanting, not by prisons or persecutions of that kind, but by the allurements of wealth, crime, and corruption. There were many who had not yet learned the proper uses of the good things of the world. If we would use all things for the forwarding of the interests of the kingdom of God, we would be permitted to live long upon the land which the Lord had given us. Should the government continue to listen to slanders and lies concerning us and refuse to admit Deseret, we would still go onward and upward, for Zion must and would be built up and redeemed.